Alright everyone, Cody here. So I just discovered something about solar panels. It's something that makes sense in hindsight. Like, of course it works that way now that I see it, but I would have never predicted this. So let me flip the camera and show you what I'm talking about. So I've got this power wagon here, and I'm using it to charge batteries and run power tools and stuff. And it's got a little solar panel on it. Right, and it's just not enough to handle the amount of draw that I'm requiring. So I got these other two solar panels here, and I just kind of laid them in the sun and hooked them in with some battery cables into the batteries here, just as a supplement, right? And I noticed that this panel was not making any power. Like, the voltage was there. I hook up the multimeter, it says 36 volts, but I'm not getting any current. So let me actually show you. It's pretty easy to show. So here's the panel, which is in full sun, and look at this. See, when I touch it to the battery, it makes lots of sparks, right? So there's lots of current flow. But this one right here, there's like a little spark, but there's no, you see, it's not burning. It's not creating an arc. So the voltage is there, but there's no current. Well, watch this. Pull this over, so now it's fully illuminated. None of the cells are now shaded. Watch this. Now it's making sparks. Now I've got current. Take the other one here, and they're acting exactly the same. So what happened? Well, when I shade these cells, I'm taking them out of the circuit, right? They're no longer making power. The sun's no longer shining on them. So with these cells, they make about half a volt. When the sun shines on them, they make half a volt of electricity. And that goes through the cell into the next one, which adds another half a volt, another half a volt, another half a volt, right? And it goes all the way through, down that way, power goes over, the power comes up, across, and through all 72 cells, and it makes 36 volts-ish. So it's kind of like if I had a bank of batteries, if I had batteries that were half a volt each, and I had 72 of them lined up, making 36 volts, then if I removed some of the batteries, well, of course, you'd expect the whole bank of batteries not to make any power because you've opened the circuit, right? In this case, the circuit is only semi-open. Like, these are semiconductors, so some of the voltage is able to leak through, but for the most part, these are now acting as resistors, so they're now blocking the current. And that makes sense. In fact, you want them to act like this, because if you had this solar panel hooked up to a battery, it'll charge all day, but then as soon as it turned night, if the cells didn't block the power, then it would just discharge through the panel, and that'd waste your power. So you want the cells to not let power through when the sun's not shining on them. So, as a side effect, that makes it so that if even one cell isn't working, the whole panel isn't going to make any power. So, make sure to keep your panels in full sun. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Something to keep in mind. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.